Yo, what's going on, everybody? Cuffing the Dip coming at you guys with another one. What's going on, Christine? And I'm trying to get this set up for you guys, so bear with me 2 seconds. Guys, worst case scenario, let me just, in the meantime, in between time, just so we don't miss too much info on the record side.
I was not a person who was on social media. I was just, going on living life. And I got on to Twitter and social media. And from there, it literally went like a wildfire. And um, I was on the core team of Saitama LLC. And I am now on the team of Impactxp. What I am is the community manager, as well as I work on overseeing social media, as well as operations. We each of us on the team have our own sections that we excel at, and for me, those are mine. So not really one greater than the other because it's all an equal contribution. So that's where we are now, and I'm really excited about this project. I have my own personal self. I have a diverse background. Of course, I've had, general jobs, I've been a waitress, bartender, all of those, things over time when I was younger. However, so when I went to college,
Let me know if you guys can hear audio.
is Long John Silver's A&W KFC Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. But so I went to work for them. I was a general manager. I was a general manager of one of their restaurants. Gosh, of a multi-million-dollar store by the time I was 21. Did that the whole time of going to college, and other things. And so I grew from there. And so from that, if you all, this is my note, I guess, to technology. So from there, in that experience, I was approached by a computer company called Exit 41. It's located out of Boston. Well, Exit 41, in case you've never heard of them, are the creators of the debit card, credit card system. And so I was approached to be an operations manager for this project of creating 2 drive-thrus in fast food restaurants. Of course, depending on your age, that may be common to you now. However, that was completely unheard of then. And the original process wasn't as easy as just pulling up, to whichever divided one. The first process was done through fiber optics, phone lines. It rang through a call center, and then it was filtered to whatever store it was that you were ordering from. And if you kind of take a note as to how that process works, you'll go, well, I wonder if that's how like DoorDash and Pizza Hut and all of these other places operate. And it is. So in a way, I had a contribution to that process that every single person enjoys now. As well as if you go through a fast food restaurant, you see that there's 2 drive-thrus. Now that technology has been, of course, changed from that, and it's a much with those kind of backgrounds. I've spent 20 years either organizing, restructuring, revamping different corporations or franchises as a group, and I very much enjoy that, and I love the diversity of that. Also, during my professional career, I was also an executive director for Habitat for Humanity here in Kentucky, which is where I'm from. And so, I've lived a very diverse career or series of careers, but each equaling into a way in which that it will help me with Impactxp. And, through all of those experiences, which of course, were exciting at times, frustrating, I'm not even going to lie, and some even in tears, that's just, part of that. However, for the first time in a very long time, I kind of feel rejuvenated because I'm really, really excited about Impactxp. I agree in my own personal belief system of the utilities that are being created. Those are things that I support. So for those reasons, I feel that at least my contributions will be vast, and I'm personally intrigued by each utility that we are building, and so that's kind of the introduction as to who I am.
Thank you so much, Mendy. That's great. So thank you so much for introducing yourself. And so, guys, I would like to share a thing with you. I mean, I want to tell a thing to the community. So initially, when I thought of starting this space, I just thought like having some casual chat with our impactors and talk about our project Impactxp. So there was no plan of having Mendy on the space initially, basically. So, but you know what? Mendy pinged me personally on Twitter, and first she appreciated me for the initiative I took. Later, she told me one thing really. So I will read it out for you. So you should definitely know this. So you know what she said. So I would prefer that myself, Jack Farah, who is the CEO of Impactxp, will be available for any discussion on Impactxp like this. Impactxp is a firm on transparency and making sure that accurate information is given to the holders. You hear that, guys? So you know what that means, guys. So she has more concern towards us, guys, and this project being 25 days old nearly. So it's really a baby. So Mendy doesn't want us to have some miscommunication happen on the project, and that's why she herself came in to talk to us, guys. I expect impactors to show your love and support to Mendy on this point as well. And once again, thanks for introducing yourself, Mendy. That's really great. You have a diversified background as well.
Thank you. You're welcome to lead the conversation however you wish, or if you just want to discuss it, or let the lobby discuss it. However it is that you want the format to be, I'm open.
So first, I will shoot out some questions so that I myself have, and on behalf of a few impactors and on behalf of few newbies as well. So then I will pass it on to the next speakers. So shall I start asking the questions, Mendy?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah. So what is Impactxp and how it started, and what are the utilities of Impactxp? Can you please explain them so that new investors who are looking to invest in this project can have the better understanding of this project as well?
Yes, and I'll go by per question. So let me answer the first question and then ask me the second to make sure that I answer all of your questions. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So Impactxp is the pickup of a contract from John. If you look him up on Twitter, his @ is Impactor Prime as well as Telegram. And you know, just like he's very, very available. If you @ him or message him, he will see it and respond to it, of course, in due time, because he's very, very busy, obviously. But he picked up the contract. He was nothing. He was, just a holder like you or I, and said, this is what I truly believe that I can do with this, and these are the lives that I want to change, and and that in a way is where we are now. Like he had said, Impactxp is not even a month old, and in that month's time, we have over 6,000 holders. We have a steady flux in our daily volume, and of course, at this point, it is organic, and so it's organic growth, which is what I prefer, of course, and most as an investor. But what it is, and so that's how the beginning of the contract. Started. So the thought behind Impactxp, of course, is for the betterment of the earth. You'll notice through the different utilities, as well as the host of multiple utilities, as well as the charitable area that we are focused on, that is all about the betterment of the earth. So, of course, we are going to have a PC virtual reality game that will be coming out in the coming months. One in particular utility that I am most interested in is the Impactor MC. And so what that will be is basically in its own way like CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, where it is a listing of tokens. However, what makes it different is it, of course, will have standards that the token owners have to meet in order to be listed, of which they have to purchase $10,000 worth of Impactxp and burn it. They also have to go through audits. They also have to go through full doxing, not just say this is my picture, and go through full descriptions as well, as other information. But the key component to it all that makes it different than just a doxing registry is that they also have to sign legal binding to the token. Now, as we know, this of course is DeFi. That's not really done here. But for me as an investor, that's what makes me more interested because if someone has to take accountability, as we know for our own selves, you're more than likely to make sure that unethical practices and rugs and those kind of things in that nature don't happen because you are legally responsible for that. And as an investor, it means something that your money is going to be respected. And it also means something that someone has to take accountability. Again, we all know this is DeFi, and those are, in its own way goes against the rules. But we also know that to some degree, there needs to be a governing. And granted, this isn't like it is up to you yourself when you're doing your own research about a token. This is just one section to help you do that because for me anyway, it would be under my belief that any token owner that goes through this process as well as signs legal documentations binding them to the token, that they would be more inclined to make sure that they stay within those legal bounds. So again, that was the Impactor MC, and for me personally, that's one of my favorite utilities that we have. So another area that we're going to branch into is hydroponic farming. John is very into hydroponic farming. And so this one in particular, other than of course the MC, is very personal to him. So I'm really interested in seeing all the ways in which it grows. There's a lot of things in the works, like you'll notice through discussion today, that I can't really go into. And that's just because and it's not to be vague, it's just because we again are less than a month old, and things have to be rolled out. We have to go with the process of the way that it is. Another area in which that we're going to go into is renewable energy, which, as you can tell, that sounds like a host and will be a host, just because of how vast that area is. And so we will be doing, like you can read on the roadmap online, we will be doing solar panels, we'll be doing different things. And the area or the innovation that it is to see in all the ways in which crypto can be utilized in those areas. And so you would actually be amazed at all the ways in which crypto can be used for that, and in renewable energy, not just your own purchase, as an individual consumer, but as companies, and of course, in other areas as well. So this will be a very interesting project. And as you can tell, it has many, many, many moving parts. However, it's going to be interesting for us all to see, and all the ways in which crypto can be utilized in those areas.
Great, Mendy. So you have touched the point, so you were much concerned about metaverse game initially, and later you were much concerned about Impactor MC. So you told that Impactor MC will be listing out only the legit projects, and that there should be talks as well, and you will be through Impactor MC, you will be providing the reliable information. So for those who want to check some market information in your Impactor MC. So are we going to put an end card to the market manipulators finally with the Impactor MC?
Will you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
So my question is you told that Impactor market cap. So you are much concerned about listing only the legit projects in the Impactor market cap, and also you also told that the devs should be doxed as well in listing out the projects, and so through Impactor MC, you will be providing the reliable information as well for the market seekers. So can we consider we are going to put an end card to the market manipulators since we have Coin Market Cap and CoinGecko, and what forced you to develop Impactor MC?
It actually was the complete idea of Jod. As you'll notice,
why did it? I'm sorry about that, guys. It's got quiet out of nowhere. I'm like, what is going on? 2 seconds.
Is a resource so this can stop happening, or at least curb it, you know? But no, this was absolutely 100% his idea.
Okay. So if you consider the crypto market, we have nearly 7K plus coins out there in the crypto market currently. So what makes Impactxp so unique, and what do you believe as the driving force for the Impactxp?
What makes it unique is because it's a utility token. You know, the other tokens, in all fairness, a lot of them are just built around hype. Whereas you'll notice that there are a few tokens that are out there that are utility tokens and host tokens within themselves. And so that's what makes it different. It's not a constant dump of information in order for you to be excited about that nothing ever comes of. So, you know, it will come out in stages, in bits and pieces, and you know how it progresses. So just like, you know, Saitama, for instance, just how they are also under the same process of they're also a utility token and not a hype token. So with that, you know, if you are already one of their investors, you know exactly the kind of pace to expect here. So it's just a whole different way, and it's a whole different movement, I guess, also in crypto, is because it's not built around hype. It is built around building corporations. Impactxp will also be an LLC as well, and also will be built up to be a corporation.
That's great. Mendy. So moving on to my next question, so we heard that Saitama invested in Impactxp. Is that true? So if it is true, what made Saitama to believe and invest in Impactxp? And on what potential point do you think that Saitama got attracted to Impactxp?
I can't fully answer that question. That's not really a question for me to answer. That's one, you know, for Saitama to answer and or Jod to answer, because I wasn't there for that stage. Or what's truth to it, or what isn't. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay. And some people are a little skeptical about Impactxp project. So what really made them feel so? Could you please tell us the story behind, for the sake of newbies and for the better understanding of everyone again? So already we have seen the video of Chad Farah in the website, but still there are a few newbies here in the space, and they would like to know much about that as well. Yeah.
So the original Impact was called Gen Impact, and that started as a rub. And then that is when John picked up the contract. And some may question, well, why would you already pick up a dirty contract? Well, meaning like it was rugged and try to revive it. The reason is because in order to do so, that's how you keep all those people from losing their money. So right now at Impactxp, we have people who have been here since the very beginning, you know, and trusted the process and trusted the project. And they've been here through the contract changes. And that's solely because someone like John picked up the contract, because otherwise their entire investment would have been gone in the first place. If he just, you know, said, no, forget it, brand new contract, and let's go from here. But instead, that's what he chose. And so the contract had to be changed a second time because there was a entry point in which someone from the former team could have access and did. And so, and that was not known at that time because it was like it wasn't a series of days or weeks that this had went unknown. And then so the contract had to be changed. And so then it was Impactx. So it finally went to Impactxp, and what we know now, and less than a month old, is so in order to, and Saitama recently announced that Impactxp will be listed on the initial opening of Tokenomics, and so the contract had to be changed again because in order to make it compatible, because I was never told the exact reason, but I was told that it was to make it compatible with Tokenomics. And as we just learned again, Saitama did just announce it. So that's actually been confirmed as the reason for people who didn't understand or accept that was the answer. But that's the timeline. That is the long timeline of Impactxp, and that's where we are.
Thanks for sharing that, Mendy. So I hope for the new impactors or else the old impactors or the newbies who are trying to invest in this project would get some understanding what you have shared now. And they will be a little free now. So with the information you have shared. So moving on to my next question. So Impactxp has done with tech rate audit. So will you be planning to do static audit too?
Yes, that's actually already been confirmed that is going to happen, and in the very near future.
Okay. So today when we see L Bank exchange, so we can see so every holder can.
You lost your signal.
Yeah,
Hello. Can you hear me?
You had lost your signal. I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry, I lost the connectivity.
So start from the beginning because I didn't hear.
Yeah. So today, when we open L Bank exchange, so the people who invested in Impactxp in the L Bank exchange are getting reflections today. So people have quite confusion about whether they are getting 1% reflections or 3% reflections. As we see, Jad telling that we'll be getting 1% reflections, and he is in touch with L Bank people. So, but still, there is a quite confusion going among the people that whether we are getting 1% reflections or 3% reflections. Can you please confirm on that if you have any information on that?
So part of the contract, which is pronounced, is that you get 3% reflections, so that can't be changed. An exchange has it is their option to, because again, it can't be changed. It's their option to pay it, keep it, or however it is that they do it. And so what John is doing is, at least if their policy is to have no reflections with L Bank, he is trying to discuss with them to at least give 1%. And so just, of course, to look out for people, because L Bank is beneficial in its own way because, with no gas fees, those types of things. So it is very popular in crypto. And because we want our holders to still get what they're supposed to, instead of just going there, transferring, and going through that multi-step, that they at least get something of what they're supposed to get out of the exchange.
Okay. So this is a quite interesting question for you, Mendy. So I have seen a lot of people tweeting and tagging you regarding the supply. So I have seen all your comments regarding, beneath that tweets. So you told like there is a reason behind the supply. May we know the reason? Why do we have a lot of supply for Impactxp?
Well, not all of it. I can't disclose. I can't disclose exactly why that is. However, that supply is made for a reason. It wasn't just let me throw this out here number. But at this time, I cannot go into all the components in which the supply will be used. I can, of course, the game, because the game, of course, is a play to earn. But other than that, no more has been released as to why the supply is what it is, but it is for a reason.
Okay. So I'll be concluding with another 2 more questions. So what are your final words to the impactors? I mean, what is the courage that you can give to the impactors about this project?
I think I went out. Will you say that again? I'm sorry.
So what are your final words to the impactors? What is the courage that you can give to the impactors about this project?
Well, I mean, I think I've said part of it, and that is, of course, to keep in mind that this is a utility project, and as you can tell by what the utilities are, these are not quick, easy, 2-second utilities. They are utilities that take thought and also processes, and also whatever the legalities are that come with them. So just bear in mind that that's really what it is that you're investing in, and so it's not every day it's going to be green candles. However, we have enough backing behind us, as well as what the utilities are and the innovation behind it, that we will have a very strong future. You may know me, may not know me, you may know John, or just these areas alone. And we ask that you stand behind us and learn it with us, and encourage the partnerships that come with it, or you as a community, if you have an attribution or even a connection to any of those areas and you want to contribute, this is a community driven project, which means that yes, John is at the head of it, but that doesn't mean that anyone else isn't behind him. So if you can contribute, it doesn't matter if it's for the utilities, or if you're a graphic designer, or if whatever, or you're very good at clerical things, whatever it is that you feel that you can contribute to the project. I am absolutely encouraged by that, and I hope that you also take the initiative to go, okay, I can do 5-10 minutes, whatever it is, just because, again, it's community driven. And if you know me, you know that I am very much all about inclusivity, and especially with the community. And I would much rather, instead of having to third party source something, outside of the community to get something done, I would much rather that be to the benefit of the community. And so, this is a multi-VAS token. And so it's going to be a long ride, but a very, very good ride. And I'll just leave it at that. It's going to be a long one, but it is definitely going to be a lot of fun, and a lot of interesting things that we learn.
Okay, so I can see a lot of people placing their buy buttons. There are a lot of people placing their fingers on the buy button. So with the courage that you have given to the impactors or the newbies over there. So moving on to the next question. When we see the roadmap, so we can see in the phase 5. So you're trying to donate to new technology advancements like solar panels, hydroponic farming, and organic produce. So, and the roadmap says that it is already planned for the phase 5, but we are looking for some more detailed information on this. I mean, how it is planned and how you are going to take these off in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I completely understand that you're wanting more details. And the roadmap does, of course, say when partnerships will come into play, as well as they will, in between then. And so at the moment, I can't go into every single detail, because John is very adamant that until it's 100%, he's not even gonna mention things. And so there's a lot of things that we have to wait until, and as we say here in the South, until the ink is dry. So there's a lot of things in play. And so you'll start to see things roll out, over time. Like, for instance, which this is the charitable cause that we've not discussed, next month in different parts of the world, in several countries, not just the United States, but for instance, in the United States and Philippines and Ghana, in Australia, and in France, we're going to be doing tree planting, and not just one or two, but by the thousands. And so it's going to be, and so again, it's to make an impact. And one of the thoughts behind it is, of course, if we are going to spend our days trying to have the betterment of the earth, why not, of course, make an actual impact in what is the build of Earth, which of course is trees and of course oxygen for ourselves. If that helps to answer you. So some of it I can go into, and then some of it I cannot.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, moving on to my next question, so I don't want to take much time. I want to pass it on to next speakers. So, any other use cases apart from what is there in the roadmap? Can we expect any big surprises in the future?
I think the roadmap is so large that I mean, that's it's a quite phenomenal roadmap, and I don't really know how you could expect more than that. However, could there be? Well, yes, of course. John is very open. If you take the time to get to know him, he's very open to ideas, and if it's feasible, and if there's a way to make it work, and it's of course within the means of the belief system of Impactxp, then he's very open-minded, and you'd be amazed at what he would at least try to see if it works. So if that helps you, so there's a yes and a no to what your question just was.
Thank you so much for taking your time, and so you have answered all the questions that I have asked with your patience. So I just want to pass on it to the next speakers who just want to come in and ask few questions to Mendy. Karata Princess, are you there? I guess Joe Raifa is available. She can come up and take few questions. Impactor Princess, I have made you as a speaker. You can come in and ask few questions if you have anything about, if you want to know anything about Impactxp.
Princess XP is she's on the core team.
Okay.
Yeah, if you, well, on my screen, it's second row over, last one. She can also take questions if anyone has any for her, any of them.
I think so we are not getting any more requests for the questions right now.
Well, I mean, I think I pretty much answered them all just in your question.
Yes. You have given a really very large information to the impactors out there. I think that's beyond their expectations today in this space.
You know, like you had read my message to you. You know, it's we're all about transparency, because that's, you know, just the same as normal life outside of crypto. You know, that's kind of what you expect of companies that you work with and of course invest in, as you expect transparency. So you almost don't have to ask the question, and I'll tell you anyway. So so no, I mean, Impactxp is that's part of our belief system. So if you do have questions, you know, if you don't want to speak right now, perfectly fine. If I already answered your questions, that's great. But my DMs are always open. You're all also welcome to reach out to anyone else in the team. Reach out to John, ask whatever questions that you have, and we'll get to the answers to it and go from there. Guys, I'm so excited. Like, I feel like, of course, you know, I'm normally a lot more vibrant, and that's just because I want you to understand the seriousness of this project. But of course, I'm always fully available. You'll also see me in different Twitter spaces, Telegram. You can always @ me. And again, as well as anyone else on the team or even Jod, and they'll be happy to answer anything that you have.
Hi, I think I'm here now. I had a hard time fixing my mic. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I don't know if the Phoenix wanted to tell me something a while ago. I heard he called me out. Mendy said quite a lot already. And and voila, what I can add is that I studied with Chad. I met Chad when Gen Impact started. I was just an investor, and things went wrong. There was a bug, and that's how I met him. And when he said the story already, so Chad asked me to join him to help out a bit. At the beginning, it was just the three of us, you know. I mean, there were more than three, but many left. And Mendy and Princess joined after. And I don't know what else to say because, I mean, Mendy said so much already. So I was just like a little introduction of myself. And I'm French, so if my English sounds a bit funny, this is the explanation. I'm trying to find my words to say whatever, you know, but it's not easy, you know, because I think French before I speak English. So I don't know if you want to ask me any specific question, because Mendy, she has said it all already.
Any questions, guys, to Mendy?
No, I don't have a question. I need probably everybody's help here. Mindy, Cuffin. Stan's vehicle is a Suburban, like one of the bigger trucks or whatever. Everything that him and his fiance owned was in that truck because they were going to California and then moving to another spot. And his truck got stolen with everything they ever owned, paperwork, the whole 9 yards. Like, the police are on their way now. He's frantic. He don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm just, you know, he only had liability on the vehicle. So, I don't know.
I'm really sorry to hear that, Tony.
Knockout artist, Stan. So.
What exactly happened? Can you repeat? Can you repeat what you just said?
They stole my brother Stan from Knockout Artist, all his clothes, the dog food and everything. They were visiting the mom before they moved into their new place that I don't know where it was at, but it's in California. And they just called the police. They're waiting on the police now. Someone stole the whole Suburban with all their clothes, everything that they own packed in that whole Suburban.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
So I don't know.
Where are they right?
Yeah, it's right before Christmas. I was just wondering maybe we can Cuffin maybe can reach out to my brother or Wendy, somebody, Mendy, somebody. I don't know what to do, or maybe we can all come together and help the guy out somehow. I don't know.
Tony, after you find out whatever the resolve is, as for the stage it is now, DM me and we will see what we can do.
Yeah, he's they were staying in a hotel out there, and when they went out to the parking lot, there were a whole vehicle, everything. So I mean, on camera or whatever they said it is, but they're waiting for the police to get there. So yeah, I just Cuffin to reach out to him too. He can probably explain to him more. I get a little frustrated, you know, trying to help him out.
He must have lost his signal.
Yes. So, any other questions from the team, community?
Like I said, I think I answered every question they could have.
Yes. Yes, maybe.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Okay, it's not gonna be a technical one, so don't panic. What I'm just trying to find out is being part of a project and a big project like Impactxp, you know, and being in the DeFi space, you know, there are a lot of bad actors and all these bad people that don't want to see the progress of others. So my question to you directly is the fact that in as much as we know all these people exist, what are you doing differently in terms of to protect yourself, family, and your best interest from these bad actors?
That was the question. Quite the question. So, I mean, it's just more of a awareness, an awareness of the environment in which DeFi is at the moment. And so I think that's really what it boils down to is just more of an awareness of, you wish that every person that you walked in, that you came across had the best intentions from you and had nothing to gain just by saying hello. However, in some instances, that's not so the case, which we have an extremely good community. And our community, is a mixed community with other tokens. And so within that, there are hundreds of thousands of good people who do have good intentions, but there are, with that many people, by odds, there has to be a few, right? So my own personal self, I am sometimes considered a target per se, just because of who I am, and as to meaning who I am to projects or to the community. And so my own self, of course, I have to make my own measures for my own family, my own self. But, as far as the things that set some of those dominoes in play outside of their nature, outside of it being their nature, you sometimes have to take a step back and look at things and take yourself out of it for a second and take your own emotions out and look at it. One is the bigger picture, and regardless if you rebutted what was said and fought FUD and just make sure that, because we all know I'm very passionate about transparency and very passionate about being against FUD for that very reason. And it's not just the words of attack; it's the multiple ways in which those are used to attack. And so it's just being able to take the step back, and I encourage everyone else to also do the same. And so if there's moments that whether it be someone in the community that evokes a certain emotion from you, or it's the chart that evokes a certain emotion from you, to take a step back, recollect yourself, and then come back at it again. And if it's the chart, stop looking at the 1 minute chart, zoom out. I always laugh and joke and say, when in doubt, zoom out. And you'll see much greater days than that just one moment in time. Did that answer you, Crypto Alert?
Oh yes, definitely. I'm just big at when it comes to people that are tied into a project. A lot of people they don't really look at the good side of any project or look at the benefits those projects is bringing to the community. There are often going to be those bad players that will come in to go after innocent characters and families and all this your personal life that is supposed to be kept personal, because we're dealing in a DeFi space, but some bad actors often go after good people with their going to their families, which is unacceptable to me. So I was just concerned, just seeing what you'll be doing differently in order to protect yourself and your family from these bad actors. But that answered my questions, definitely.
Yeah. So hopefully I've made the measures now to make sure that myself and my family are safe from those things. You got to learn a lesson, right? So lesson learned.
Okay, guys, any other questions to Mendy? So we don't want to stretch much. So it is already 1:30 a.m. IST here. So thanks once again, thanks Mendy, thanks for joining the space and thanks for clarifying to the community. So whatever the information you have given to the community will be worthy to them, and they will right away step in and get get some Saitama for them as well.
Yes, absolutely. Saitama, I've said it before, that is the motherboard to it all. So obviously we all know me and know that outside of even that mentality of knowing that that's what that is, I'm always, of course, a supporter of Saitama. And my concentration is on Impactxp, and I'm excited. Like I said, in the beginning, I am rejuvenated. And if any of you are old enough to be rejuvenated in anything, then you understand exactly my mentality of where I am.
Yes. So can you? We are going to launch Impactxp on Saitama. So how that is getting excited to you personally?
Well, like everyone else in the community, I look at the number every day and get refresh all day.
Sorry about that, you guys.
The world, that it is global warming, and what they predict is what our future is. And I think that renewable energy truly is the same as how crypto is the currency, will be the currency of the world. Renewable energy will be the electricity and the energy in which it runs and which Earth runs from. So I'm very intrigued and excited to learn all the ways, not only about renewable energy, even more than what I already know, but knowing in all the ways in which crypto can be used in that area. So if you can pay attention to crypto renewable energy, then you'll understand why it is. If like when you see me in other spaces or talk to me on the phone, why that I'm always like a screaming excited about it. So if that helps to answer your question, those are my two. Absolutely excited. Can't wait to dork out. I cannot wait to see it all in those areas.
All right, thank you. That is good to know.
I believe our host lost connectivity again.
And of course, it keeps blanking out. Sorry about that.
Does anyone else have any questions? Well, I only say that we only have a few speakers. Without a co-host, I can't bring you up.
Yeah, I just got a message saying that the host has connection problems, so I guess we lost him.
That's fine. I mean, I think that everyone seemed to have all their questions answered, or what could be at this point. And again, you know, our DMs are always open. We encourage you to always reach out to us. If I don't know the answer, or Katira doesn't know the answer, or Princess XP, there's always Jod that's available, and we'll get to the answer of it. And so I'm excited, and I hope that after this conversation that you are too. You feel a little bit more versed about what Impactxp is, and you know, and join us and go from there. On Tuesday, to let you know, if you want to hear from Jod, he is doing an AMA with Cup and the Dip on YouTube, and it will be streamed. And that's that's Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Central. And so if you're interested in talking with him, asking him questions, that AMA will be on Tuesday on YouTube on Cuffin's channel. So I guess, are you back?
Yes, Mendy, I'm back. Sorry for the connectivity issues. So I think...
No, that's fine.
Yeah. So I think we can wrap up the session for today. So thanks again for being in the space, and on behalf of community. So we have given the courage, whatever that is necessary for them, for the impact.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Let me set back up really quick. That was AMA with Mendy. I understand that people had different questions that they wanted to get answered. There was a couple technical difficulties. It actually blacked out on my end a couple times also. So, you know what I mean? Everybody has their own perspective on things, I feel like. So if it is positive, I would say definitely go ahead and shout it out. If it's negative, you know what I mean? Or constructive, I'll take constructive, just not negative, you know what I mean? First of all, the project is still within 30 days old. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, as far as like new developments coming as far as from the project, as my big brother would say, Michael Thompson, it's on the way. You guys just have to have patience. The same thing we had to have with say Tama and any other project as far as their utility or anything that has to do with the project itself. I don't know too many projects that come out and immediately have their utility. So if you do know that, let me know one. We can jump on that together. Maybe it'll rise and moonshot, as people say, right? As people chase pump and dumps. I don't understand this situation. Most people want to see immediate results, but when you have a long-term project, it takes a little bit of time to build up that project, especially if you're going to do it right. So just allow a little bit of time to go by and have a little bit of patience with Impactxp. Is still in its infant state as far as a project. So as we advance in the fact that it's on the SATA mass, guys, we're going to be pushing numbers, especially with it still being a new project. You guys have to understand that. And for this question right here, how can a crypto be a renewable energy? It's not saying that the crypto will be a renewable energy itself. It's saying that the crypto will be involved in creating renewable energy. And thank you, Christine. I can't wait for it either. Jod will physically be on my channel, guys, as you just heard Mendy say. So I will have Jod on here Tuesday. It was supposed to be today, but we actually moved it to Tuesday, which I'll be advertising, and I'll do a short little video just to circulate it around that he will be here to do an AMA. I have my own set of questions that I'm ready to ask him. They're a little bit different than the questions that were asked during Mendy's AMA. And on top of that, I will do my best to get questions answered from the actual chat itself. So, guys, like I said, if you have any questions, go ahead and gather your questions. Even if they're good, bad, and different, I would like to get those aired out so that there's nothing that people can say as far as the project itself. I'm glad you find it interesting. But guys, I literally just hopped on just to go ahead and get this AMA situated and to kind of speak with you guys for a second. Thank you for chilling with me, you guys. And I appreciate the time that you guys have spent, but I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I may do another video before I come on later tonight and address you guys. But like I said, I'm going to do the video letting you guys know about the AMA that is on Tuesday at 5 Eastern time, 4 Central time, guys. So go ahead and catch that. In the meantime, you guys keep cuffing those dips. I'm out of here.